Yeah.
So since that hits on where we were trying to go, and again we are going to get into infinity and everything. We want to give you guys a little teaser. We don't want to jump right into the goods because we got something special planned for y'all in September. But Realty Thinking, for those who don't know, is an organization that Malik Potter started. Shout out to him. He basically had the concept of Realty Thinking is committed to leveraging real estate education as a vehicle for fostering financial literacy, promoting mental wellness, and economic empowerment with the marginalized community. Sorry. And when you try to read out your peripheral, it ain't that. So with all that being said, he brought me and several of our other friends and board members on to the organization to really help push this narrative and really make real estate investing something that people in the community who really want to chair it, get into that lane, they have the ability to learn and be able to make their decisions on how they go about it. Because there's so many, me and you, we do a ton of networking events, and I know you probably get the same. Hey, I want to get into real estate investing, but I don't know how to do it. So when I saw the opportunity, and I don't want to speak for you, but when it was brought to my attention to be a part of the board, it was because I often get that. And while, I know a little bit about it, I don't know everything. So when it was a collaboration of us getting together with you yourself, who have however many properties you got, and just others who are have a legal background, or they have the title company like Malik does, they background in lending like I do, or Tamara does. It was really just something I was like, okay, I need to be a part of this because this is something the community needs. We're thirsting for. So what drew you to want to be a part of the organization?
Honestly, whenever Malik call, I answer.
Okay,
that's number one. Malik is one of those guys. Like he's young like us relatively, and he got a lot going on for himself. So when he call, I'm gonna answer. That's number one. Number two is because I didn't really know going into it what it was fully about. I just said Malik asked me to do something, so I'm going to do it. But once he gave me the outline, gave me the showed me different things. We got a vast Google Drive at this point.
Right.
Once I started digging into the documentation and to know that he already had it going before, and he just kind of needed a little bit more push. That's what kind of, because people ask me to do stuff and join stuff all the time, but it's like, what have you already done?
Correct.
You know what I mean? Don't come at me with like
a half-cocked idea.
Right. Like, it wasn't an idea. It was already something that he was doing. He already had events, already had people and pages and things like that in place. So it was
that impressed me too.
Yeah, that was impressive. And then thirdly, the impact that I thought it could make on the actual community. So that's probably, I'm saying that's third, like whenever, like time wise, but really that's number one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Impacting the youth, helping the community see, through this real estate lens, and as far as like trying to attain wealth within the community, and disadvantaged community at that. So I'm all for that. My whole life, outside of my family and myself, that's what pretty much my life has been dedicated to. And then number four, we got a kind of like a rock star board membership.
Right.
I mean, like these are people that are like
they doing it.
I mean, obviously including yourself.
Right.
But like they're doing it.
Yeah, and no, that speaks to, because I did the same thing. I was like, he got Titus.
Yeah, he
got Rob.
He put a good cast together.
Yeah. So, and that brings to fruition what I was thinking when you did your real estate mastery class, which I attended. We got more to come.
We got more to come.
Okay, so real estate mastery class. If you have not attended one, you definitely need to. Sure. At Infinity Bar, because so when I attended, we had Mogul Mo, we had Kevin and Leslie Talley, shout out to them, David McGowan, just a plethora of people who are killing it in their individual lanes, and you and your wife Ivy, shout out to Ivy, you guys were really the spearhead who I looked to, because I was like, you really broke it down in a way I had never seen, as I'm starting to want to enter the game. And it was like, they're giving all the secret sauce. And I'm like, oh, this is worth the money. So just talk about that event and just how that came to be.
I mean, honestly, we throw networking events here at the bar
all the time,
but we get people to say, hey, this is cool being here with you guys and networking and partying or whatnot, but how do we really get involved? And it's not, I know people say, well, you can get the information off of YouTube or in a book, but it's different when you can call a person.
Absolutely.
It's different whenever you can actually sit down with someone and run your real numbers.
Right.
And get real perspective on what's going on in your market specifically.
Right. Absolutely.
So I think that's what kind of drove us to do it. Number one. Number two, we do have coaching. I don't really put it out there. I got a couple people that are doing really well, and I will start putting that out soon. Right. And they will too. But I'm not gonna say I'm a shy person, but I'm just a person that's like trying to put the work in. Like I don't necessarily post a whole lot, or
you're not looking for all the exposure and notoriety in that sense. Yeah.
But in one sense, I'm happy that we did the master class too, because I know people left with way more information than they thought that they were going to get.
Absolutely.
I mean, like,
I'm like, oh, they showing deals?
Like, no, like real deals.
Yeah,
that we actually did.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
I'm like,
you know what I'm saying? Like real numbers, real deals.
Right.
I'm pulling out my mortgage calculators. I'm pulling out deal analyzers.
Right.
I'm pulling real comps in real time.
Right.
Like the whole thing. It's not just like a little, like, oh, I'm gonna just show you. And no, this is what's actually going on right now. This is stuff that we actually did in real time. And if you like, because people actually became mentees after that,
right?
And they're doing deals,
right?
They're like, you know what I'm saying?
And I'll share this because my biggest takeaway was, yeah, you guys had PowerPoint presentations and all that, but it was the things you guys were saying between the action where you're talking about how to deal with contractors, do's and don'ts. Those are the things that I think were key, because it's like, bro, there's so many people out here doing it and they're taking their lumps. Yeah. But if you got somebody who's pouring into you, giving you, hey, bro, don't do this, don't do that, that's way more valuable. And then back to your point about, you can get this information on YouTube, yada, yada, yada. It's disingenuous because, one, a lot of times it's not applicable to where you live. The money's different in parts of the country. And then also, you're not getting a full scope. You're not getting the negatives about what's going on. Social media is designed to reel you in with all the positivity of how much money you can make and all that, but it doesn't really give you the true ups and downs, ebbs and flows. And that's what I enjoy.
And I think too, for me, the biggest thing is if I attach my name to your name,
right,
I'm gonna do everything in my power for you to be successful.
Correct.
And the people on YouTube or the long distance coach or whoever, they're not necessarily going to do that.
Right.
When I go outside and when we turn this camera off, I'm still going to be me. Right. And I'm still going to be on Brownsville Road.
Right.
I'm still going to be going to my spots. I'm still going to be Titus from the north side.
Right.
But now I got this information and I want you to have it. But here's the other thing too, because people was asking me like, well, why are you charging for the information and da-da-da-da-da? And my response to that is, well, and because my wife was like, maybe we should do a free one, or maybe. But here's the thing: more people came to the paid one than the free one. Number one. Number two is
I came to the paid one. I like free stuff, but I'm going to the paid one.
But the biggest thing is, like, if you come and you pay for information, that's a down payment on the next thing that you're going to do. Correct. Like, that's an investment.
Correct.
On the next thing. I'm not wasting my time and you're not wasting your time.
Right. And see, I don't get that, because when you look at our white counterparts, and I'll be very intentional with the statement I'm about to make, I know
take a sip.
I know literally people who pay thousands upon dollars to go to the DoubleTree or the Hilton or whatever, to sit in front of those seminars and get game, but they don't get game how we got game that day. It was intentional. It was, bro, I could ask you anything and you was going to give me the sauce. Yeah. And so for me, just that alone was worth $200. Now, and also, if you can't buck up to cover the information and education you're going to get. When you go to college, when you go to any of these trade schools, unless you're getting in there for free, it costs some money. So the education part costs some money. And if you can't foot the bill for the education, then that means you're not ready for what you're trying to undertake. So I was like, yeah, even if you do a free one, I'll probably come, but I'm not feeling that I'm at the level I need to be ready to go out here and try to do what you guys are doing. If I'm not pouring, if I ain't got the money to get into the room, I ain't got the money to carry this thing on.
And then my last point to that, and I'll let it go, is that we were able to weed out the audience that we didn't want.
Right.
That give us a discount audience.
Right.
Because that's not how the world works. Like,
right.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, and I hate to like say it like that, but like, you know, you gotta kind of, you know, our people specifically gotta get out of like kind of like the handout mode.
Right.
Like if you want something, save your money, go to work, save your money, and invest in it. That's it.
Right.
Like, there's no shortcuts in life.
Right.
Like, you got to put in work. Even after you leave here, you have to still put in work.
Right.
Like that, and I think that that's my advantage in life, is that I'm not afraid of the work that it takes to do anything.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, and that's a great transition, because the next thing I want to talk about is, so we touched on Realty Thinking. For those who haven't, that's where you want to pour in to get your free education. And what we're doing here is, and I'll have it. We'll have the link in the bio section. We are doing a $25 gift card for you to enter and to win the $25 gift card. As long as you get on our mailing list, and all you have to do is get on the link and be able to sign in, put your information in, because we're going to start our workshops very soon to help people get into real estate investing. So if you want the free, this is how you do that. You'll get into our link. Once we do the drawing, whoever we pull will be able to get a $25 gift card. But the real win will be you're tapped in with Realty Thinking to be able to get your education up. So that way, if you want to get in real estate investing, you have all the tools and resources to be able to do so via conservatorship, via share of sale, via land banking. We're going to have a ton of resources, a ton of education, a ton of financial literacy. So it's really just about you getting connected with the right people, so we can help you elevate to whatever heights and levels you want to get to. So definitely be on the lookout. Hopefully you're the lucky winner.